Get ready to be part of something extraordinary at WOSCon 2024. Imagine a gathering of the brightest minds, the most innovative thinkers, and the industry experts all under one roof. This is not just an event, it's a transformative experience where knowledge is shared, connections are made, and inspiration is ignited. WOSCon 2024 sounds like an electrifying event. It must be a thrill to be part of such a gathering where creativity, expertise, and innovation converge. The synergy that arises when brilliant minds come together can spark groundbreaking ideas and collaborations that have the potential to shape the future. I can already envision the exhilarating atmosphere filled with passionate discussions, cutting-edge presentations, and networking opportunities that transcend boundaries. It's events like these that fuel progress and drive positive change in the world.
Hey guys, this is William and welcome to the show. If you've been following us, this is another one of our lineups for the interview series for the World of Search SEO Conference 2024. Want to thank our sponsors, Unlimited Affiliate, Search Atlas, and Authority Solutions, as well as Scale Nut. Today we have Alfredo with us. He runs, not only Purpose Mind Marketing, he also helps you with GMB Pros. He's also a partner with me at William Jones Marketing, and he also has his own SaaS tool called Audits that he is developing. It's a software tool designed for advanced local SEO practices, and he has many advanced SEO tactics underneath his belt in local SEO. He works out of Southern California, so he's up really, really early today with us. So appreciate you, Alfredo, and thanks, my friend, for joining me. It's going to be good to have you back again at Manila at the World of Search for 2025. So I look forward to spending some more time with you. But without further ado, for the people that may not know you like I do and haven't been around you as much, can you tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. So, like you said, I'm here in Southern California, beautiful Southern California. Man, I started my journey in 2019. I was always, I believe my gift is to help those around me, to elevate those around me. And I had an experience back in high school. I bombed an interview. From there, I said, I'm never going to feel this. And I didn't want others to feel that same way. So that's how I got into the resume writing, help my, coworkers, always got them promoted to other positions, and I wanted to make a bigger impact, and that's how I made the transition. If I help business owners, I help the community, I help their employees, and so I made the transition from resume writing to marketing, right, and helping businesses and local service area businesses, specifically
Awesome.
plumbers.
Specifically plumbers. So we'll get right back into that, into part of your story and your journey and how you kind of transition from working from other people and what inspired the shift. But if you're watching this, make sure to get in there and try to get a chance to win some free tickets at the worldofsearchconference.com. How to win: share this live with your friends and colleagues, and check out our conference at worldofsearchconference.com. Post your screenshot in the comment box below, and we're going to check it, and we're going to check it out, and our team will contact you if you are the lucky winner. Without further ado, again, Alfredo, can you go through us and share with your journey and how you went from, because it's not the typical SEO journey, is where you took and went from resume writing to establishing Purpose Mind Marketing, which helps, local business owners with their SEO needs.
Yeah. So, I got married young, right? I have 4 kids. And just so that you can recap them, the ages of 28, 26, 22, and a 2-year-old, right?
Wow.
And I got married super young, and I got into the career of truck driving.
Mm.
And I initially started this and my own business as far as I just wanted to replace one check, right? Just one check. That's all I needed. Replace one check and I would be good. And it kind of snowballed. Then from there was always operating within my gift of elevating those around me. Um, got into this group called LMV with Jason and James, and they taught me wide, as far as marketing. And then I niched down, the path of least persistence when I picked up this thing called Google Business Maps, right? Google Business Profile. And that's when I came across you and just started eating it up. Um, Partnered up, applying what I learned, and that's where it got me here, where I was able to retire from the truck driving business for a little bit, and pursue other partnerships and grow and learn and grow and learn.
Yeah, so you started Mind Purpose in 2019. That's literally the year I moved to the Philippines. Literally, I never went through that with you, but yeah, in June or July of 2019 is when I moved to the Philippines, and probably a year later is when I started good old Rank Fortress. So interesting how things worked out. And that's right around the time you came into my life too. So what are some of the biggest challenges that you face when transitioning from a career of assisting people to now, or resumes and writing and helping people so they don't feel the way you felt when you went through your job interview, to owning a digital agency? We kind of talked about the reason why you did it. It really is because you needed money. But, what are some of the things that you had to overcome as far as challenges in that?
Man, it's a discipline, right? It's you have to be disciplined to do what you have to do to help not only as many people as you can, but even when things are not going your way, surrounding yourself with good people. Sometimes you feel like you're by yourself. I think that was a huge hurdle for me, is being in a community, surrounding yourself with winners, modeling what winning looks like, and having faith in the belief and the support system at home, right? With my wife, Jenny supporting me, seeing me many, many nights in that kitchen table, trying to learn, trying to grow. But I think that's really what made a difference, is the belief in yourself, applying what you learn, surrounding yourself with people that are doing the same thing you're doing. You're not alone, and always pushing forward and having that support at home, I think, is what made a huge difference for me.
You and me both, brother. I still tell people all the time. My wife even told me this time. She said, "You're not going to talk about me this time on stage." It's like, that's some bull crap. You're not going to talk about you, because if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here. I don't believe that behind every good man is a good woman. Beside every good man is a good woman. Yeah. So your work in the local SEO niche has helped a lot of small-based businesses, just like myself. You're in local SEO. How did your early experiences shape your approach to that niche? When you're starting out and you're learning and everything, how did that all, if you will, shape how you approach that specific niche? And your specific niche is plumbing.
Yeah, so I only deal with local, only local, and with like service based, right? Your plumber, your painter, your roofers, your dentists, everything that has to do local. Man, it's constantly learning, right? It's a moving target, right? And one thing that I think that I've learned is, get your best practices, right? We're on this fitness journey and whatnot, and it's that minimum dosage of effectiveness is where I kind of got that, like, for protein and all this other medicine and food and vitamins and all that. But what is the minimum dosage of effectiveness? And with this moving target, like with Google, with local businesses, is what is the minimum dosage best practices, best in class, your foundational stuff that you need to get. If you can get that process solid down, all the other little tactics, all, when Google moves the target around, you're diversified in your ranking factors. And if you can kind of get that down, you're pretty solid. You can be safe. You're not going to win them all, right? We hit grand slams, we hit first base, second base, third base, sometimes home runs, but consistency in that, I think it's made a huge difference for me.
That's a good point. So when you first started, because you mentioned this, it's kind of the same way with me. Whenever you first started the agency, it's just like, listen, I just want to make an extra $100. I mean, I remember when I told people, I'm like, you're broke. I was negative broke, bro. You ever been negative broke? You was negative broke, you go to the bank and it's negative in your account. You're not even broke. So, and most of us, when we get into SEO, because there's such a low threshold, to get in, we're getting in because we just want to make, feed our families and stuff like that. And then we wind up getting in, and then you start a successful agency like yourself over at Purpose Mind Marketing. How has your vision evolved as your agency has grown?
Oh man, you know how they say to dream big? I just started with one paycheck. Boy, was I dreaming small, like really small. Dream big, like, yeah, when you're in the midst of it, it's hard to like picture it. It's hard to like see the label when you're in the jar, right? But man, do take time to dream big. Do take time, because you will break through. It will happen. Like, don't underestimate what you can do, especially if you have good people around you. That's one thing that definitely I did, is I didn't dream big enough for those bigger goals.
Yeah, I remember, man, it's like when I first started out, and not really when I first started out, but I remember having to start over, and I was living with my mother. And I remember just picking up little jobs here and there, getting $100 here, $200 there. And I'd literally go cash the check. And I'm not saying to go do this, but I'd cash the check, and then I'd go down to the poker room, and I'd try to double or triple it up. And then I kept doing that and over and over and over and over and over again until I got out of my rut and stuff. That's after I went through my real bad divorce and stuff like that. But it's like when you first get started, so it's just like, I just want a couple of $100 to my name, or I want to be able to pay my electric bill and not be late, or, maybe it help you out with your mortgage. You don't even think it's like, well, this could actually, I mean, I remember the first time, for example, I made more in 24 hours than I made in an entire year. At my old job, and it was just like, you're flabbergasted. It's like, this is insane. It's like, even when I used to play poker before, it's like I told you, it's like it was for, I needed the money. Now it's like, if I ever go, it's just like, it's not playing for money. It's just, I'm just there to chill out or whatever, but everybody's got to start somewhere. And most of these agency owners, if you actually listen to their stories, we've all started where most of our listeners are at, which is generally either broke, negative broke, or maybe they don't have, if you will, a cushion to fall back on. So can you describe a pivotal moment? Because some people have these pivotal moments in the early days when you first started Purpose Mind Marketing that really significantly influenced the trajectory of Purpose Mind Marketing.
100%. I can tell you the relationship that I built with this guy named William Jones at Rank Fortress at the time. Literally, so guys, I used to watch GMB Pros. I paid for that program. It was a paid program back then. And just take notes and notes and notes, and I'd be in the truck, and I mean, that's where I met Mike. That's where I met, the Patricks. That's where I met, a lot of people. And then that grew to other people like the Cohens out there, and Brett from Mindsaw, and it just kept growing and growing, these relationships. But the one relationship that it was a huge trajectory forward for me was the relationship I had with you. right? When I got involved with Rank Fortress, and really, it was seeing the example and applying it, and remembering what you said, and watching what you did, and try to just do the same thing, right? And that 100% was a huge difference
I appreciate that,
in
man.
my life, for sure.
I appreciate it more than you know, and you've been there through thick and thin, so
Mhm.
you know how I feel about you. So you've been more than a friend. So I know my wife's looking forward to meeting you and seeing you again. So she's always asking, is he going to bring his wife and baby and stuff like that? I'm like, honey, it's a lot to trek 30 something hours by yourself, much less bring a 2-year-old and a wife. So I'm sure he would, but so what do you believe sets, and this is something, if you're in GMB Pros, we ask people all the time, what sets Purpose of Mind marketing apart from everyone else in SEO? Because there are thousands of SEOs, there are thousands of agencies. If I was going to hire you, what makes me want to hire you more than the next guy?
Well, this is something that I grew into, that I learned. But one thing is, I only do local SEO. So the GMB, the website, organic, and then we'll do some ads. That's all I do. That's my area of expertise. I'm world class. At one point, I was just doing Google business profiles, right? I had the recipe down. I was world class at what I did. Again, Google moves that target. They start changing stuff around. Um, so in developing that, nobody, any of the people that I work with, they know exactly where their money's going. They're never wondering where their money's going. Number two, they always can see results, or at the very least, headed in the right direction, right? Um, and number three is like communication. Either they're able to get a hold of me or get a hold of Nick. But with those monthly reports that we send them, like, it comes to a point, exactly, okay, where that picture is. Again, we don't hit home runs or grand slams on everybody. Sometimes we do drop the ball, but for the bulk of it, those are the things that you'll notice. For me, with Purpose Mind and the plumbers that I work with, is they know exactly where their money's going. They're never wondering where that is. They're always seeing results, and then the communication that we give to them every single month.
And I would add in as well, you're not the typical. One of the reasons why I like the fact I got to hang out with you and I got to be around you too is because you've seen the way I teach. So therefore, when you came into GMB Pros, and now what most people know, for example, when we first met, our relationship developed, and now he runs Google My Business Pros, or GMB, or Google Business Profile, whatever you wish to call it. Our classes, and he's in there he's in there anywhere from 1 to 3 times a week, and he's teaching actually how to rank. It's not a matter of, a lot of people out there, especially in the SEO community, can talk about a good talk and talk about SEO and sell some courses and do some seminars or whatever, but it's much different to actually walk someone through a live and actually do things live. You're going to screw up. You're going to do some things. Oh, let me see. Oh, Google changed this. Today I was teaching backlinks on something. I was like, they changed where they had something at, and I had to go looking for it. My whole staff saw me. I said, see, I'm not as smart as everybody thinks I am. I'm actually pretty dumb. I just like figuring things out, So, but I think that's another thing that most people, 99.9% of people out there that are SEOs, don't teach SEO over the shoulder. I could name, Chris Palmer, myself, Mike Merlino, I love him. So he loves you. He calls you. His nickname for you is the Sauce. So he said that to me one day. I was like, who the heck are you talking about, bro? He's like, the Sauce. I was like, oh, Alfredo. Okay. So, but in your experience, what are some of the common mistakes businesses make with local SEO, and how should they avoid them?
So this is what I see a lot, not a little bit, a lot of. the basics, right? Google Search Console, Google Analytics, Bing, schema. How about your H1? How about your description? How about your image SEO? Like just the basic, guys, will make a difference for you. Like the low hanging fruit. I see that so many times over and over and over and over, that just do the basics and then see where you land, and then you'll be able to, get some backlinks, improve your content. But if you don't have your H1, your title, your description, Google Search Console, like how do you know if it's even being indexed or not? Get Bing's attention, right? Because then it'll get Google's attention, it'll make some movement. Improve your content, right? It doesn't take much. Just diversify what you already know.
Yes, funny thing is, we had someone that was trolling me and my partner Kirk. It's kind of funny, and he was talking about, he's just ragging on us or whatever, like how they do. But he was just some, SEO. He's like, tell me about your backlink, strategy. It's like, dude, your website sucks as far as that on-page SEO. Yeah. So I could tell you the off-page tactics all day long, but if you don't have your on-page and technical in check and your topical sitemaps and your silos and all that, it ain't going to help you any. And it's like people think, oh, it's just the magic of backlinks, and backlinks is the end-all be-all. They help you, but they are not the end-all be-all. And that's where a lot of people make a mistake. And then I would also suggest the biggest mistake local business owners, make is listening to the jargon of your local SEO person. Ask for results. Give me some before and afters. Give me phone call records and stuff like that. Show me where you've actually helped a business, versus just, hey, I'm the local SEO expert. You're going to tell me all about other, SEO, how to make a topical sitemap, how to, what is an entity and all this other crap. No one cares about that. They want to see, you going to make my phone ring. We always say, if it's not ringing, it's not going to help you any. So that's my 2 cents to add on to what you're talking about. How do you incorporate, because you've already talked about tools, and we're going to get to that with Aldis, but how do you incorporate technology and tools like Aldis into your SEO strategies? And could you talk to us a little bit about that tool?
Yeah, so imagine it's not just a geo graph, right? It's a trade area geo map. Is what it really is. So basically it takes your landmarks, traffic flow. It's what the retailers have been doing for a long time, right? A very long time. In interviewing like 60,000, 65,000 people, how far they're willing to travel. So, it's patent pending. We submitted this to Google, and it does trade area geo maps, right? So it takes your competitors in your area, and it also looks at your real customers. So, because the idea is all that SEO mumbo jumbo grids, it doesn't mean nothing if we don't make it rain, if we don't make that phone ring. So with this tool, it takes an area where your real customers are coming from, and we focus on the best practices, best in class, right? And as far as making the website and your maps get on the top 3 or get ranking, make that so the people can call you when they're looking up for your particular keyword. And not only that, but with the tool, you're able to get more out of your project managers. If they were able to handle 10, 15, 20, we were just talking about this yesterday.
Yeah, we're able to handle yesterday. Instead of handling like 15, they can handle at least 30 because you're automating things.
Yes.
And this is what a tool should help you do, is work more efficiently. It's like I have a prompt that, if I show you this prompt, I did this thing yesterday. I was like, holy crap. I sent it to my project managers and everything. It's like, give me this, their pain points, their this and their this and their this, and it just went in a table and listed it all out. Then I went, now make social media posts is basically the problem. Now make social media posts out of every single one of these pain points and right? And how can I solve it? And then made all the social media points, and then made the graphics. It's kind of the same thing. So you're doing it with local SEO. So instead of it taking double the time, it takes half the time. For example, GMB posts, and it also looks at, you're telling me, for example, you had mentioned if they're posting 7 times and you are only posting 5 times, and it bumps you up.
Yep. So it does a lot of the creation for you. Beautiful pictures. We also give them a link so the client can upload it. We call that into their bucket, their media bucket.
Nice.
So the system, the business assistant will look at your competitors. Let's say, just for numbers, if they're posting 5, it'll create 6 posts, right? Stay ahead of the game a little bit. It'll look at your reviews. It'll reply to your reviews. Now, it does have some AI, but we still want eyeballs on it, right? AI is as good as the prompts. So you always want to get human eyes. All you have to do, it'll create it. It will do the heavy lifting for you. And all you have to do is approve it, and it'll post it. And it runs, we have the system built where some of it runs hourly, some of it runs weekly, some of it runs monthly. And it's a rolling 30 days because it looks at your competitors. Okay, this is what they're doing. This is what we need to do better. And then it gives you suggestions. Sometimes, like, man, we're in the glass. It's hard to read the label. We get out of it with this. It helps us, like, those best practices, not to fall in the cracks. So it'll suggest certain things. Hey, have you done this? Have you done this? Have you done this? H1s, I've optimized categories. And you're like, okay, I forgot to do this one. Or, okay, I'm glad I remembered.
Nice.
So then your VA, all they have to go is execute. They don't have to create the post. They don't have, there's AI. So it's more than just a mapping tool. It's a trade area mapping geo tool. It's AI involved. It takes care of your posting. It tracks your keywords as well.
Nice.
And it's constantly looking at it, so you stay ahead of the game. You stay ahead of your competitors.
I think that's the number one key in this business. You got to stay ahead of the game, stay ahead of your competition and what the next guy's doing. Because if you're trying to be number one, trust me, there's at least 2 other people trying to be number one.
That's right.
100%. So if they're the top 3, so and someone's always looking to push somebody else down. So you always got to be one step ahead of everybody else. So how do you approach? Some of us do this, some of us don't, but how do you approach customizing an SEO strategy for a different type of client? One's a plumber, but in your case, you've got the answer for this, but, such as home-based entrepreneurs versus a roofer or a plumber. You only work with plumbers, right? So
yeah,
it's pretty much, you don't have to deal with customizing anything because yours is, and this is one of, I think, the beautiful things about niching down versus being a generalist, which is what I am, because we do white label SEO, is I can't be just a plumber guy. I have to be a roofer guy, a doctor guy, a skin removal guy. I got to be all in one. But with your case, you got really good just working with plumbers, right?
Yeah. So I think the way you can diversify what makes you great, and any white label company or anybody out there that's a generalist, is they got to get, again, back to the foundations, right? The on page, the Lee, he really polished me up with the website. The better you're on page, the less you have to do off page. Get your foundational stuff
1,000%. We even just updated our packages. I took a lot of the quote unquote off page, like backlink buying and stuff off. Yeah, I still have off page YouTube tags, press release tags, stuff like that. But the quote unquote guest posts and this stack and that stack. You don't need all of it usually for local SEO unless you're in a place like New York or whatever. And even then, you don't need as much as you think you need if you'd actually just do the basics.
Yeah.
So
and that's really it. I've seen it, like, you do the basics, the best practices, best in class, and woof, it make life a lot easier. A lot easier.
So you just talked about keeping ahead of the game and keeping ahead of your competition. What's some trends you currently observe in local SEO, and how should a business owner or an SEO stay competitive, especially with local SEO, because it's constantly evolving, and SEO in general is constantly evolving, but very much so with local SEO, because Google's always trying to get you to spend money on their damn ads.
Yeah. This one it's a oldie but a goodie. I give credit to Chris Palmer and Mike Marlino, right? If you talk to these guys, they've been preaching the same, especially Mike, right? Who, what, where, right? Who are you? That's your brand. What do you do? That's your product, your services. Where do you do it? That's your geo, your location. Man, if you get and everything you do, right? Citations, your website, your whatever content, your images, your audio, your video, your social media. If you get your brand, your product, and where you do it, get that down, that is going to keep you ahead of the game. That's going to, and then everywhere, right? Social media, YouTube, video, audio, images, all of it. Those three things.
Like I tell people all the time, it's like SEO honestly is branding. Backlinks is branding. Content is branding. YouTube is branding. You doing a course, that's branding. The thing is, and it's like Mike talks about too, it's like, okay, Google's interested in your content. They're interested in your voice. They're interested in podcasts. They're interested in your products and services, all that stuff. And it all ties together. And it's like, I now have a form on our site where it goes, start here. And if you look at that form, the first thing it asks you is, do you have all your social backlinks? Do you have, and I go through the very foundation. And if you ain't got this, guess what? We're not doing on-page SEO first. We're not
100%.
doing off-page SEO first, because you don't even have your brand set up. Google is not going to recognize it. Everybody uses the term entity. Entity basically means brand. That's all it is. It's like, what do they associate with Burger King? Well, all these freaking burgers, bro. And it's like, that's their brand. So, the branding aspect of it is, what I talk about, even with me, it's like what helped me grow my business brand. Everything I did was about branding. When I did the quote unquote, if you will, the intro song with the guys in the hoodies doing the dance, that's branding. Everything you do is branding. It's not just, oh, well, let me go buy 100 backlinks or this niche insert edit in this guest post, and this is going to help me. No. How much social traffic are you getting? How often are you even posting on social media? It's shameful if you look at most quote unquote agencies, how often they post and what the type of stuff they're posting. So can you share a success story where your company, Purpose Mind Marketing, has changed a client's life through your SEO strategies? I mean, because we can talk about SEO all day and brand and everything else, but how have you actually, can you share us a story where it's actually helped somebody right off the top of your head? It don't have to be anybody specific or anything like that, just generally.
I mean, the off-the-wall ones, believe it or not, they're not even in plumbing, because there's some off-the-wall ones. There's a chimney guy, young guy, he blew up his business, was super successful. He's actually traveling. I call him traveling the world. Another guy that comes to mind here is locally, because we started together. We were both drivers. He went into the restaurant business, just gave him a few tips. And now he has a second restaurant he has open here in town. Yeah,
That's
that
awesome.
was kind of cool.
If you can make it in a restaurant business, I mean, because it's tough. It's in the restaurant business, probably one of the toughest businesses to get into.
Yeah.
So the fact that he's opened up a second one speaks volumes of the type of success he's having.
Yeah, 100%.
So, because I know we kind of touched on this earlier with just me and you and with Mike and everybody else, but how important do you believe is building relationship with clients specifically in the SEO industry? And do you have any tips for people that are looking to get started and how they can network and build relationships?
I mean, if you look at the relationships that I have had, like in the partnerships that I have, if you flow it all the way up, it all stems from you, William Jones, Rank Fortress. So, one of the things that, if you're looking at somebody like myself, like William Jones really kind of taught me, not only by saying it, but what he did, right? And he's not perfect, but he's very successful, and he's helped me to this point to be successful. Now, the relationships, they're huge. They made and then those that came after that are like huge. If it wasn't for you, William, and I appreciate you, like even this opportunity with Kirk and Will the Search and the stuff that goes in the background, guys, it's a heavy lift, and it doesn't stop till it's over. We're just getting started, right? And with Kirk and the Michaels and the Chris Palmers that I can call friends, of the Bryans, the man there, I can go on, and I don't want to be disrespectful if I forget anybody, but the Lee Wichards out there and all the relationships that I've built and still that call me to this day, how you doing, checking up, they all stem from GMB Pros and with William Jones. And here's the thing, guys, you got to come to the table with a little bit of noggin, with a little bit of know-how, right? If it's 10 steps, William, she says, okay, here's step 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And you should be able to do step 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then you're going to get stuck at 5 and 6, but you bring your own noggin and you figure out steps 5 and 6. Yep. Then 7, 8, 9, and 10, you can go show them, hey, William, this is what I've done. This is what I figured out. Then they can see, okay, I'm pouring into this guy and he's taking action. And you show them what you did, they're more willing to help. William is, to this day, is because I was fast to move. He told me I did it. Yep. Right? I didn't ask him any question. I just spent a weekend with Mike Marlino. Mike, this is what I've done. Boom. Step 1, step 2, step 3. This is where I got stuck. This is where it filled the gap. Like, what do I do here? A lot of these guys out there that we look up to, they're all willing to do it, but you got to be in their group, support them. I paid for William's services. I was in his group every single day. I bought the mics and the Chris's product, invest in them, put to practice, listen, write notes. Sometimes you got to pick up what they're putting down. Sometimes you got to pick up what they're not saying, but what they're saying. If that
you have to read between the lines.
Yes,
sometimes because like Mike, me, and you, and some other, and Chris, we're like, don't keep coming into GME Pros or Google Business Profile asking the same damn question that I've already went over with. Come to me and tell me. Don't ask me how CTR is working or how the social, if you will, traffic work. Tell me what you're actually doing to test it out, so then I can tell you the parts you're missing, or I can tell you a different way, maybe a better way, stuff guys, like that.
For me, they've all been that way. All of them. Every last one of them, they've all been that way. I'm a nice guy and all that, but you gotta bring a little bit to the table, listen to what they have, pay into their little programs, courses, masterminds. I shouldn't, I don't mean little programs, but invest in what they're offering, right? And they will invest back into you. You'll get it 10 times over, 10 times over.
Correct. And you can always tell the ones. It's like Kirk. I mean, I remember Kirk when me and him first partnered up. I told him, I said, "This is what you do. Go into groups, do this, this, this." He had 20 audits within, a little over 20 audits within less than 24 hours. It's like, and there are times like the form that I just put on my website. Iron sharpens iron. I'll watch what he does. He watches what I do. I'll watch what you do. I watch what other people do, and then I go, okay, let me put my own little sauce on it, or my own little spin on it. Therefore, I make it something that's mine. Because everybody's like, if your old grandma, she had cookies she baked a certain way, but then your wife bakes them a different way, and she has her own little thing she throws in there. So it's always a different little bit of a recipe that everybody has. So we're in this group together for health and everything, me and you. But what's some of the personal habits or routines you'd say would contribute, that you would personally contribute to your success in this local SEO field?
Yeah, work on yourself, guys. Conquer your morning, conquer your day was a huge thing. I journal. I work out. I bring in my wife with me. We both went to the gym. We just got back from the gym.
Same thing over here, brother. Me and my wife work out together. Yeah. And I just started journaling not too long ago.
Yeah. Work on yourself. Journal things I do. Read, right? Gratitude. Those are the kind of the personal things that I'm doing.
100%. Gratitude goes a long way and can make you 1,000 times better in life. Just being grateful. Because most people are not grateful. No matter what you do for them, just be grateful for where you're at, and, you're blessed. Most of us are blessed. So what advice would you have, if you will, to a new aspiring digital marketer, maybe a freelancer that wants to follow in Alfredo's footsteps and start their own SEO agencies?
So one thing, operate within your gift. We all have a gift. Operate in that gift, the path of least resistance. And just invest in yourself. Be the best version of yourself so you can offer that to people. And I think the rest will kind of take care of itself, right?
I agree. It's like, definitely take care of yourself, invest in yourself, invest in mentorships,
Yes.
and get around the people that, one of the sayings that I had before is like, it's from my mentor. It's like, I listen to people that are invested in my success, not some schmuck that wants to call you a name, or some schmuck that wants to say you're doing terrible, but they have no invested interest in your success. If anything, they have an invested interest in your downfall. So work with the people and take advice from people that have that have an invested interest and been where you want to be. You can't listen to someone that's stuck at 5 figures and you're at 6 figures or trying to get to 7, or you're at 7 and trying to get to 9. You got to work with people that's actually been there and went through the crap, if you will. So looking back on your journey, Alfredo, what is the most valuable lesson you've learned about building and leading a successful agency?
Man, I just got reminded. I came back from Washington, D.C., these conferences. Guys, these conferences, with Mike
Rebranded.
And the last year's World of Search. I got relationships from that one. Every last one of them. SEO Spring Training is another great one, right? These conferences like World of Search that William, Kurt, and the team are putting together. I think if I had to pin another point of like it was a pivotal point, they've been super monumental for me. That made a difference. The relationship, the knowledge, people get to know you, you get to know them. You're not by yourself. Everything that comes with that. It's whatever it costs, guys, get there. Whatever, This one is a big one. It's World of Search. People from all over the world come to this one. If it's half of what it was last year, it'll be amazing. I have yet to go to one and not got something out of it. Now, keep in mind, I go there with purpose to get something out of it. So they're all good to me, but I can pinpoint each one. Like this last one with Mike Rayburn, it was small. It was small on purpose, but man, it was the bomb. It delivered big time. Last year, World of Search, what a platform you guys put together. People, the caliber that were there, the knowledge that was there. It was great. It was an awesome experience.
Yeah, it's like
Right.
I got 20 plus years experience, but I'm sitting there with my damn iPad taking notes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like as soon as I got done, I was already implementing it. So everybody, no matter how much experience or how little experience you have, can always learn something at the conference. So lastly, could you take the time, Alfredo, to invite our audience to the upcoming World of Search conference here in Manila at the Heritage Hotel?
Guys, I will be there. I'm going to be speaking. I'm going to give you some little bit more knowledge. Agency owners, come out. I have some bombs for you. How to save more time, how to make more money with the current group that you have. Guys, it's going to be phenomenal. Last year was great. That's why I'm going again, right? That's why, I'm paying, I don't know what it is, 6, 7, 10,000 miles of air miles. I'm going again. It was fantastic. The knowledge, the solidifying of the relationships that I did with William, his wife, and all those that are, I met Matt Diggity, right? I met Kurt and his family. Chris was there. All the other speakers.
This year we got Craig Campbell and a bunch. It's going to be a bunch of new faces this year too. So it'd be some oldies, but a lot of new faces as well at the World of Search. So, but thank you so much for being on the show. I appreciate you, Alfredo. I appreciate you and thank you for everything you do with me and my agency and GMB Pros. And of course, for sharing your insights with us. There was a lot of information, a lot of gold. Hopefully y'all took some notes. And I want a special thanks once again to our sponsors, Unlimited Affiliate, Search Atlas, ScaleNut, and Authority Solutions. Your support is invaluable in making the World of Search Conference a success. So every single one of you, I look forward to seeing you. I look forward to meeting you again, Alfredo, and spending time with you. Once again, if you don't already have a ticket, make sure to go to the worldofsearchconference.com and get registered. We're in the last 20-something days, and we ain't got that many tickets left. So, guys, get in there and get it while you can, okay? And thank you so much. Thank you, Alfredo. You have a good one. Be blessed.